G'day scrappers. Today I've got a couple of titrators to scrap out. Just oddball laboratory equipment. So yeah, they're two different brands and models and shapes and sizes, and yeah, they're titrators. So I'm not exactly sure what they do. They kind of analyze different chemicals and stuff, and so you put all kinds of attachments on there. Usually there's a solution that goes and there's hoses hanging around, and this thing spins around. There's also another spinner here. This is a different brand. They put like a beaker in here with the solutions running through. This one has a keyboard. So yeah, general lab equipment. Pretty much every laboratory would have a couple of these, doing various chemical analyses, and I think you can even, analyze things like precious metals, gold and silver content in solutions, or yeah. So without trying to get too technical, I'm just going to be scrapping them out. So I'd imagine with these big spinny thing up here, there would be a motor in each one. I don't think there's going to be a great deal. I know that laboratory equipment is very expensive, so it'll be just interesting to see what's inside these titrators, and yeah, see if we can get any good gold recovery out of them. I'm not expecting a lot, but I might start off with this small one and then go on to the big one. Okay. So this is the 719S Titrino by Metrome, Swiss made. So might be good quality. Cable tear and stuff, just too old, and these were thrown out. And laboratories don't throw this kind of stuff out if, they can do much. I'm pretty sure when I did get them, I tried to power them on, and I'm pretty sure this one actually powered on and worked. But the other one, the big one, didn't power on at all. So it's probably just blown a fuse or something. Got some interesting little things on the back here. Got the RS-232 port, which are beautiful gold pins. Wow, they're like super gold pins on them. So I'm assuming that there's nothing, no contamination in here or anything like that. Sometimes you just don't know when you're dealing with lab equipment and that, what they were actually, used for, and but all the hosing and the actual bottles and all that didn't come with it. So that's where all the chemicals would be, or any residual chemicals. This is just a working box. So I'm assuming once we get this top off, it's pretty much going to expose everything. And oh yeah, so that's the main spinner there, and this one says it's a stirrer. So this is stirring the solution while this one's doing something else. We'll have a look. It's probably again just a little motor in here. Yep. Yeah, it's just a little motor. DC motor, Swiss made. So I might keep it because it might be a good motor. Swiss made, it's got to be precision, hey. So I'll probably just keep this whole thing like this, because on and off switch, speed dial, it might actually, yeah, it's one of those things that for someone that's into motors and stuff, you've got the whole kit and caboodle here ready to go. Speed dial, on off switch, and some power cord ready to go. So I'll keep that like that. Don't want to just send it off as scrap. Okay. It looks like aluminium, but it's just plastic. Not much of a board here, it's just basically the LCD board. Okay. Oh. Gonna have to get this dial. Oh yeah, it looks like there's a really nice circuit board in here actually. Just gonna have to get this dial out. Okay. All right. Well, apart from a little bit of cast aluminium here, the rest is just plastic. So that can go. All right. Well, for a little unit, it's quite elaborate. Yeah, it's got some decent chips on this backboard here. There's a transformer in there. There's a little rotating cog. This motor. Pretty interesting. Nothing spectacular. Oh, I didn't expect anything like incredible. Gonna have to okay. So that's for the main tumbler spinner. That's all the mechanism there with a little tiny little motor. Quite sophisticated little setup, but not practical for anything that I can imagine for any other use. Another little motor here. It's a Maxon DC motor. So they're Swiss made, so they're probably good precision little motors. So I might just put that in my little motor bucket to keep. Okay. Right. Just had to get myself a little chair to sit down. Just trying to work out how to get this all open. What part do I tackle? Just undo these screws. Oh, got one board out. Okay, so not much here, just a standard mid-grade board, quite heavy because of all this junk on there, but still just a mid-grade board. Just leave it as is. This looks like the main board. Yeah, so I've been still going at the garage, so I've been just doing little clips of video as I've gone. Not a great deal, but so eventually I'll put up a video of my garage clean out adventure. So far it hasn't really been really interesting, but it's just processing a lot of cable and stuff. There's a couple of Nicad batteries. Okay, so I want to get rid of these batteries. Just a little motor. Got a bit of brass there I might get off. Well, there's the board. Yeah, it's actually got quite a lot of chips on it. And just love these gold pins. These are just irresistible. You can see the pins go all the way through, plated gold, and it's just really nice gold plating. And so I'm tempted to just do it a little bit rough. I'm not going to get to all of the pin. There we go. I can pull all these pins out. They're all going to virtually fall out anyway, but they're beautiful gold plated pins. Gonna have to do it a bit more carefully, but don't know if you can see the density of that gold plating, but it's beautiful, really orange and thick, really nice. You can see these pins here, these will just fall off. Probably could have done it a bit better, but as you can see, these pins are really, really nice gold plated. Yep, and because they're solid, you know, they're gold plated all the way through. There's no real avenue for your solution to eat into that gold. They would go under a different process. You want to just sort of virtually dissolve the gold off them, but yeah, just it's really still just a mid-grade board, but still not bad considering it's got quite a lot of chips on it. And lastly, there's the power board with just a nice little transformer on top. In situations like this where the transformer is on a small board like this, aside from probably taking off these brass prongs here, these risers, because they're nice and chunky brass, we don't want to give up them. Or are they? No. Oh yeah, beautiful. So I want to get rid of them, but what that's probably going to do is remove the transformer off the board. Normally, oh no, it's still on there. So what I prefer to do, instead of trying to break this transformer off the board and just having virtually a nothing board, low grade, I just leave it like that because it's predominantly a transformer. There's not much of anything else, but there's still, you know, like, you know, a little bit of copper recovery and so on for the scrapyard, and still got some brass prongs there, so there is value there. I prefer to just leave this as it is and sell this as a transformer to the scrapyard just as it is, rather than taking off the board, because it's only a small board. It's just like one whole transformer package. So, but we did get the main brass risers. Alright, so that's it. That's the first titrator, the Swiss-made small one. So we've got the transformer. Got a pretty good board. We can there's a removable IC chip here we can take. I don't think it's an EEPROM. It might be though. Oh yeah. Yep. And it's actually a gold one. A lot of these EEPROMs with the glass windows, a lot of them you won't see gold. It'll mostly be silver, and you know, some could be platinum, I'd imagine, but mostly silvery. Whereas the gold ones, when it shows actual gold, then we do know that there are gold bonding wires there. We can see the gold. So I value these ones higher than the silver ones. So if you do get EEPROMs, you take them off the board. If you're going to just sell them or even recover them, you're best off separating them, gold ones and silver ones. So if you can see yellow and it's gold inside that window, you know, I prefer to keep them aside, but it doesn't really make any difference. But when I'm buying EEPROMs like this, if they're separated into gold and silver, I pay a little bit more just for the gold ones. Otherwise, if they're just mixed, I just pay normal rate. So, but other than that, got that one. Another mid-grade board, really good value because it's heavy and chunky, so we'll get, you know, good money for it, even though it's not a great deal on it. And this motor here, again, because it's Swiss made, just feels like a precision motor. It's just, the spin on this is just so beautiful. It's like a Swiss watch. Because it's got the dials, I'm happy to keep that, put that in my motor collection, as well as this, only because it says Swiss made. So, you know, why not keep it? That's about it really on that one. We do have this keyboard where there probably will be a mylar under here, but generally I don't keep these kind of mylars because they're just very different to a regular computer keyboard mylar. Looks like it's going to be a bit difficult to get open because there's nuts on the back, so I'll just probably leave that. I won't worry about getting the board because there's really no value. I'll just get the cable. Did get some aluminium, nice piece of aluminium here. I'll clean up. This motor and stuff mechanism I probably won't keep, but yeah, so the rest is just standard. Send these Nicad batteries to battery recycling, and that's it. So a couple of good motors to keep, a couple of mid-grade boards, and a transformer, and our EEPROM. So not a whole lot in gold recovery, but you know, for what it was, that was pretty good. So now I think I'll just do this big one now and have a look what's inside, and we can sort of compare a little bit out of the two different brands. I'm not sure where this one was made. I'll have to check it out. Okay, so this one here, the Mettler Toledo, it's a DL50. It's actually also made in Switzerland, so yeah. So I'm assuming that it's pretty much the same kind of thing, just more plastic to deal with in the end, I guess. We'll just take off these top bits. Okay. Well, this is interesting. This, the titrator part, that's on a motor, and there's another motor there. So there's two motors in here. Pretty much not much else apart from the motors and just a little board. So I'll probably just keep this as it is, because it looks like it's going to be quite complicated to actually get it open. Or maybe not. Bit of stainless steel. So there we go. It's got two beautiful little DC motors here, also Swiss made. Yeah, I'll probably just keep these motors, and I'll just keep this whole thing intact like this in case I ever need motors for some kind of hobby project later on in life. Yeah, so two very snazzy looking motors actually. Okay, not sure if there's going to be much else to it, but no doubt there's got to be a circuit board or something. But I just thought, you know, since I've got them, I might as well do some kind of video on them, just to, you know, put it part of the oddball scrap stuff. We're always scrapping the same kind of stuff, so it's good to see something a little bit different. Okay, this looks like stainless steel. It's a nice sheet there. Okay, wow, big battery on the board. Yeah, not a bad board actually. Just wondering if I can get this plastic casing out. Got to undo the circlips. Maybe have to take out these boards by the looks of it. Oh yeah, there's little cards in here. That's cool. A nice big flat pack there, but yeah, nothing special, but still mid-grade board or peripheral, depends where you are. Another one here. Wow, some nice ports there. Might have to look these up. There's nice chunky flat packs here, but the boards themselves might be, who knows, they could be valuable. Same deal. Yeah, interesting. Not a whole lot there gold recovery wise, but looks like we've got some brass prongs there. Nice, quite heavy. Yeah, and it's all pretty much stainless steel, this. Quite interesting. So this one would have obviously probably been a bit more expensive. Just a board for a card. Again, very good quality gold pins, beautiful gold. Might see if I can get them off. There's one right in the corner, just to make it a bit complicated. And there we have it. Wow, a lot of IC chips on this end. Still only really a mid-grade board, you know. Might be worth plucking off some of the IC chips. A couple of the big flat packs, very chunky flat packs. Big battery. Want to get rid of that. Yeah, a good mid-grade board. Almost a high-ish grade board. Okay, so it looks like there's just a power supply here. That'll probably do us. But yeah, the whole thing is pretty much made up of stainless steel. There we go, just a power supply board. Not bad. It's got torque screws. There. Got an LCD screen. Wow, now that's a pretty full-on LCD board. Haven't seen one this good. So obviously this is really good quality stuff. Just let me open this. The last screw I've kind of threaded a little bit, so don't know if I'm going to get this one out. Because the thread on the screw is a bit threaded through, I have to just crack it out. There we go. Wow, that's a giant LCD screen, you know. Well, it's not giant, but it's pretty big for one of these boards. You know, check at that. It's got tantalum capacitors all on this side. Some ICs. The board itself. Let's see if I can take off the LCD screen just to have a little look underneath. It's just got these standard kind of twist prongs. Get that plastic off. There we go. Very nice LCD board, actually. Still not a great deal for gold recovery. We've got nice gold plated pins here, and this whole board would probably be flashed underneath the green mask. Some very fine fingers here, not a great deal gold recovery wise, so it's not the sort of thing to really get excited about. It's a good peripheral board though. I'd be tempted to take off the tantalum capacitors, and I might even depopulate this whole board, take off all the chips, and just throw away the board. Get these gold pins. Just up to you what you want to do. Just a standard LCD board. Well, LCD, just the plastic perspex, no value there, and the screen itself, no real value. This is all stainless steel. There is just a little backplane board. A little backplane board here, just a low-grade backplane board. So I'll get that a little bit later. And some nice stainless steel. Just got to remove the steel prongs. We'll see if we can clean it up. There's almost a couple of kilos. Is $2.50 just in stainless steel there. A few bits. So nice to get a bit of stainless steel. All adds up. So there we go. Nice LCD board. Tantalum capacitors. Some nice ICs there. Got the main board, yeah, pretty good. A lot of ICs on this side. Again, I'm tempted to probably depopulate most of it because there's really no junk on it. So, got nice flat packs, really chunky ones. These unusual looking flat packs here. And yeah, and all these ICs here, so that's a pretty good one. Just this board with some nice gold pins, and got these 3 cards. Might be worth checking out the cards. When you get cards like this, if you keep them in good condition, you might check the serial number, and they might actually sell. You never know. I doubt it, but because it's a very specialized unit. But if I was to throw this in mid-grade board, I'd like to take out these gold pins first because they're such good quality. All Swiss made, and just a power supply. Oh, 2 beautiful Swiss made motors. I'll keep this whole mechanism intact like this. Just makes it nice and safe to store it, and also it tells me later on, like years down the track, gives me an idea on what this actually come from, where the motors come from. I can see, oh yeah, that's the titrator. And yeah, awesome. So not a bad little kit from this Metla Toledo DL50, Swiss made. Yeah, really good. I mean, obviously if you can get lab equipment as eWaste, you know, there is, you know, some precious metal recovery here, and lots of good little bits, especially if you're into electronics. You know, some would probably love these motors, this whole mechanism, you know, and nice power board to suit, you know, so it's all there. Really interesting. Well, that was 2 Titrators from General Lab Equipment. So I hope that was a bit of fun for you guys. Just another 2 items out of the garage that I've, you know, got to scrap out finally. And I'm going to clean all this up and then just get back to focusing on the garage clean out. And so look out for that video probably in a couple of weeks time. In the meantime, there might be another video or 2 in between. And yeah, just been really busy at the moment. I just had a big customer come through with a whole lot of circuit boards, motherboards. So just today alone I've bought nearly $900 worth of circuit boards. So it's coming in thick and fast, and I've got to process the circuit boards as quick as I can before the next person comes along, just so you know, I stay on top of everything. And but that's what I'm mostly focusing on these days, is the purchasing of circuit boards. So if you you're a bit of a scrapper in Melbourne and you get circuit boards yourself, be sure to contact me, and I'll send you to my website address where I've got the price list and all the things that I buy circuit boards, gold recovery stuff, hard drives, power supplies, CPUs, RAM, gold fingers, gold pins, you name it, I buy it. And that's what I'm pretty much focusing on at the moment, as well as doing the business side of it, and in between doing hobby street scrapping and hopefully some metal refining or metal melting later on down the track. Alright guys, well I better get back to it. Hope that was a bit of fun. I'll catch you next time.